Or I'm going to make a prediction, and that is that Kavanaugh will be confirmed for the Supreme Court. I say that with a sense of disillusion, but I'm going to specify my reasons for thinking so. Now, a lot of us have actually bothered to go and look at his record. It's very pro-business. It sides with that particular industry anytime it's involved in the case. So it's very obvious who he'll serve on the court. Um, but a group of people it's not obvious to are the people who are going to be confirming him. And unfortunately, with many of these Supreme Court choices, there's always this general assumption that the opposing party will decline to vote for whoever the other person's choice is. For example, with the Garland thing, you had this period where no one even bothered to attempt anything with him, um, and it's really amusing because this goes back to that the money, the billions of dollars for that budget. When I talk about theatrics, where they want you as the viewer, as someone who's not in Congress, to go, oh my God, is the Senate going to approve Kavanaugh, or is he going to be left without the enough votes to pass? This real nail biter thing. But the way it works actually is that all the Republicans will vote for him, and two or three Democrats will cross over, one of which might come up sick or having to do something. But one of the donors for one of the Democrats will call them up and say, hey, swap your vote too. It's like when we had the tax bill back in December. Um, the reason that was able to pass without Democratic support was because there were enough Republicans to pass it. They would have flipped it, a couple of them over, those donors, either way, as long as they could get enough to pass. And I hate the fact that people can't see the forest for the trees when they watch year after year a party nominating, the president of one party nominates Supreme Court choice. That person gets scrutinized and talked about all horribly by the other party, and then they either just barely make it in there or they get turned down in very few instances, especially in the period of the 2000s to now. So over the course of the last near 20 years, or 18 years rather. But yeah, people are still going to think that there's any hope. And understand something, the only way you get actual change in Congress is if you change the system. When I sit here and talk about how all of these, politicians from both parties are corrupt, I'm telling you that because both parties, in a lot of cases, tend to have their members take money from the same groups and corporations, which causes many of their votes to be similar. And one way they try to dispel this perspective from the public is by staging theatrics. So they're going to have most Democrats vote against this. Um, and to be fair, there are a few who would vote against it one way or the other. Um, Sanders, Warren, the small itty bitty group. But the rest of them will back this because their donor will say, hey, this Republican stayed at home, so fall in line. And then they'll put out some statement. Oh, I woke up this morning and I realized that Kavanaugh would be such a great pick for the court, and I was so happy to cast my vote for him. And people will just eat it up and believe it. So it's sad. But as is the current state of the political system, a corrupt oligarchy. Thank you.